Okay, got a big hole in the wall. How are we going to fix it? Well, if you've seen some of my other drywall videos, you know we can do a hot patch. Well, this is about, I don't know, 8 inches long by 4 to 5 inches tall. To me, it's borderline. I could do a hot patch, but for big holes in sheetrock, this is how I'm going to fix it, and I'll show you here in just a second. Okay, now if you've seen my other videos on how to patch a sheetrock hole in a day, you know that what I'm doing is kind of creating a hot patch. I'll leave a, 1.5 inches, 2 inches around the edge. I've roughly cut this to a little bit larger than the actual hole. And what I'm doing now is pulling the sheetrock off very carefully, because I don't want to pull, I want to flap a paper left. And so I score these every, I don't know, inch and a half, something like that. And lightly pull the pull the sheetrock itself off the paper. I want to leave the paper. See, I want to leave the front of the paper. Even though this isn't going to be a traditional hot patch, I still like to leave a little bit of paper on the front, overlapping the edges. So once I get this done, sorry for the lighting, it's a cloudy day in the neighborhood. So just easily pull that off. Hey, look at me, I'm hip. I have holes in my pants. These are fixing to get thrown in the way. I don't like to work with holes in my pants. Pull that off. And we're just going to do that, this whole thing here. That's why I score it every so often, so sometimes I might need to score it a little deeper. But this one, really just need to make it through the paper is all you're looking for. Leave that front paper. Make sure it's the front, not the back. The back side's brown, front side's white. Man, I could start some stuff with that comment. Okay. And I do not have my tripod today. I don't know where it's at actually. So let's go over here and I'll show you what I'm going to do next. Roughly, I'm going to take my patch here. I'm going to put it over here. Okay. Then I've got it over the hole. I make sure just, going to cover the hole. Then what I'm going to do, oops, sorry. What I'm going to do is take my pencil and trace around this. And I'll bring you right back as soon as I do that. Okay, there you see I've traced around. Now, it's important to know you're tracing around this part, not the paper part. You want your paper to overlap. So next, I'm gonna get my jab saw. I'm gonna cut that hole out. Okay, got my square hole cut out. I'm gonna try my patch. Oh, look at that. Fit like a glove. Okay, but we're not ready to put that patch in yet. So we just wanna dry fit it. Because there's one other thing, we gotta do that hole, big hole in the wall before we can patch it. Okay, now we got our hole cut. Got our patch cut here. On these larger holes, you need a backer. This is a scrap piece of 1x4. It can be a piece of plywood. I've even used 1x2. So you just need something that you can get in here and try not to drop it. For the backer for the patch. So I take a couple of drywall screws, Get them started. Hopefully we can hold that while, see if I can do this left-handed. One of was almost too big. Drawed it up pretty nice. Go ahead and get a couple more on this side before we put the patch in. That went too. Them heads below the, I think that can pull it out. Okay, you want those heads below the surface. Now, we're going to butter up the patch with all-purpose compound and put it there and cut. Okay, got a bucket of all-purpose. Take my patch here. Get some on the flanges there. Get some on me. Can't do this without getting some on yourself. If you're not getting it on you, you're not using the way I always looked at it. Okay. Just get, don't have to be perfect, but all of that paper, if you're going to use this California patch type where you leave a little bit of paper hanging off, then you do need to get your all-purpose on all of it. And there we go. Look it down. We're just going to patch in there. Put it in the wrong side. I see what it is, the nail sticking through. There we go. And that nail's gonna make me stick out. I don't know why I didn't see that before I put it in there. That's okay. All-purpose has long drying time. Let me get that nail cut off, and I'll be right back. Okay, now we're going to take our patch. We're going to put some all-purpose mud around there, and I've already put some around here. So, just for good measure. Now, make sure if your patch is not square and it's cut odd or whatever, make sure you got the facing the right direction. And then we're going to put our patch in there. Got a little tear there, not a problem. And I'm gonna, okay, screws in there to hold the patch. If I can get them out of my pocket. Don't take much, you just need a couple. We're just wanting to hold our that board this time. Yeah, that needs to be a little. There we go, maybe one more, just for good measure. Okay. Come back, smooth everything out. Paper right there got a little wonky on us, but that's okay. The drywall knife's going to smooth it out. And you want to get this as smooth as you can. We're going to let this dry. We're not worried about getting another coat today because this is all purpose. This is the coat that glues it. I'm going to glue it down. So I'm going to even that out. I'm going to let it dry today. Be back in the morning, put another coat on. Okay, day 2. This morning all I did was just take another coat of mud, real thin coat, go over this, and tomorrow or this afternoon, if it's dry enough this afternoon, I will take my +3, which is a top coat, and go around the edges and kind of just feather it out into the existing texture. May even have to take me a little wet sponge to just feather it out really nice. Like that, and then tomorrow I will be ready to texture it. But I usually have 3 coats on these. I got a little hump down here in this corner. I don't know if you can see it or not. Just a little hump. And if I can't get it out tomorrow, I'll take some 80 grit and sand it out. And then that final coat will be over the top of that. And she'll be flat, flat, flat. So anyway, let's check back in. Okay, I've got it primered. And just like with my mud, I feathered the primer in around the edges, came out past where the patch was. Like I said, you don't want no hard straight lines on this stuff or it will show through the texture. I don't know, I'm trying to get it close up so you can see the texture. I'm ready to paint it. I'm about ready to paint this wall. And so, I know you can't see that texture yet, so I'll bring you back. There's the old texture, huge, old school texture. So I'll bring you back after I get this painted, this wall painted, and I'll show you this. Guys, gals, here is the finished product of repairing that big hole in the drywall. I don't know, maybe I can get it here. You can see the texture here. This is original. This is the big stuff. You can see mine. Mine didn't, the hand thrown texture didn't quite match. But unless you're specifically looking for, unless you're specifically looking for it, you're not going to see it. You can see the Homax did pretty good. I guess you can. Just where I put the big blobs, I put a little bit bigger blobs than what it needed. But like I said, you're only going to notice that. Somebody will only notice that if they're looking for a excuse. So otherwise, because see, it's typical with texture, you have some smooth here, you have some big here, and it's all different. And that's different too. Maybe you can get a little different angle right there. Can you see it? I'll probably get people go, oh, I can't see it. That's the whole point of texture, is to repairing the texture, is blend it in with the wall. So if you can't see it, means I did a good job. Thank y'all for watching. Don't forget to blog at bluecollardiy.com. More articles there on home repair and stuff like that. So anyway, I'll catch y'all down the road. Like and subscribe.